Everything just changed for the New York Knicks' trade plans, as trade season is just a couple of days away. And with that in mind, teams start to look at the holes they have in their roster, and a recent update from an NBA insider has discussed what the Knicks will be looking at most likely. However, with a recent change of plans, we now are witnessing a situation where the Knicks find themselves in an excellent opportunity to go and acquire the real perfect player for this team, and we are going to break that down, discuss how exactly things have changed, why they have changed, and also what this means with trade season beginning in just a couple of days now. And we are going to get into all of this, guys, but before we do that, if you're part of that 56.6% that's not subscribed to Knicks Digest, make sure to go out there and subscribe so you don't miss a single New York Knicks update. We're coming out with videos every single day regarding the New York Knicks, and guys, if you want to know ball, if you want to know New York Knicks basketball, this is the place to be. This is what you flex to all your friends when you're like, oh, that's why I know everything about the Knicks, about contract details, all that stuff, what's new on the trade block, what's going on with the team. But let's jump into the video, guys. There is a lot to go over on the Knicks right now because, look, as we know, Leon Rose is always ready to make a deal. That's just how he is. He's made trades at pretty surprising times and also has been pretty keen to making trades early in to NBA trade season. Every contract can be traded, or every contract that was signed over the summer for free agents can be traded on December 15th. Being a couple of days away from December 15th, what that effectively means is that teams will start looking at trades a little bit ahead of that, so they know going in how they want to plan things out. So with it being the early part of December right now, this is when we really start to look at everything. We're not that far away at all from trade season being officially on, and some trades can happen fast. Teams are already looking at potential options. Teams like the Sacramento Kings, New Orleans Pelicans, Indiana Pacers, Brooklyn Nets, Washington Wizards, Charlotte Hornets, the teams that you know are going nowhere fast, well, they're going to be making some moves earlier than usual, according to all reports. Now, with that in mind, the Knicks, they are very, very good. They're the second seed in the Eastern Conference. They're finally starting to click and are, in my opinion, the best team in the East. And I still think they are going to be making the NBA Finals out of the East. However, with all that in mind, they do have some areas that they could get better in. Things look good. Their starting lineup looks good. OG Anunoby is hurt and the team is still flowing. Mitchell Robinson is still being ramped up. Everything is going well for the Knicks right now, but obviously things can improve. And with that in mind, we do have an update regarding the trade situation. As Ian Begley did mention that, let's say everyone is healthy and the rotation players are healthy, my belief is that backup point guard would be the trade deadline priority. Someone who can come off of the bench, handle the ball, run an offense, and give Jalen Brunson a chance to rest. That's where the priority would be over other positions if everyone is healthy. But it's a long way to go. Now, Begley continued by saying, backup point guard is where I'd put my money. Obviously, injuries change everything, but also who's available via trade at the position. Maybe you do shift with the backup big situation. I'm not going to say there's a lot of depth there, but if the Knicks had to focus on one area, they wouldn't have to focus on the backup big. I think it would help Miles McBride play off the ball and be in order when Jalen Brunson is not around. So Deuce can be kind of an exclusive off-ball player where he is at his best. Deuce is having a good season this year, man. I mean, 11.5 points per game, 2.6 rebounds, 2.4 assists, excellent defender playing a lot of point of attack defense, getting nearly a steal per game, while shooting 43% from the field and from three, where 65% of his shots are from behind the arc. He's shooting 40% on corner threes. Deuce has been a very, very consistent player who just balled out against the Toronto Raptors, which has definitely helped his stats bump a little bit up, but at the same time, Deuce has been phenomenal. He's been a very, very solid player for the Knicks for a lot of years now, and when we look at the team, the point guard depth is a little bit questionable because the guys who've been handling the ball when Brunson's off for the majority of the season have been Deuce and then Jordan Clarkson as well. Clarkson, who's appeared in around 19 minutes per game, is putting up 10.5 points, 2 rebounds, and 1.7 assists per game, shooting only 31% from 3 and 45% from the field. Clarkson has a lot of good energy to him, but he's got his strengths. He also has his weaknesses. And with the Knicks right now, they do need more of a lead ball handler, and that has been a big thing. However, when we saw some injuries happen to Landry Shamet and OG Anunoby, the Knicks at the changeup, who was in the rotation, of course. And so, enter Tyler Kolek. Tyler Kolek has gotten some serious minutes since Landry Shamet went down with that shoulder injury. And what we have seen is the Knicks get much better when it comes to having the team flow when Jalen Brunson's off the court. Kolek has come in and played excellent basketball, and we know that this is how Mike Brown operates. He's not afraid to throw anyone into the fire who's on his roster. He trusts all his guys. I mean, we saw him put a two-way player in when he was coaching the Kings not that long ago into the starting role where he played some point guard, and we are going to get into that specific guy later on in this video in a couple of minutes. But right now, when we look at Kolek, the man has been great. He's been what you want out of a backup guard. The man's averaging 14.7 minutes per game since Shamet went down, putting up 5.6 points, 2.6 assists, and 1.2 rebounds in that span. He's shooting 33% from 3 and 45% from the field. So when we look at that, we do see, is he the most efficient player in the world? No. Is he the least efficient player in the world? No, not at all. He's been a very positive player for the Knicks, giving them a real passing guy who can go out there and play an excellent brand of basketball. His passing is beautiful. He sets guys up for perfect buckets. And also his shooting has become more consistent, which has been a big thing surrounding Kolek if he really wanted to get it clicking to the next level. Kolek is in the rotation as far as, I mean, first of all, it's hard to bench this guy now because of the way he's playing. But also on top of that, it's not exactly clear when Landry Shamet's going to be back, but it's going to be at least another couple of weeks if he's able to come back. Now, I want to make it very clear because I've gotten some comments thinking that I don't like Landry Shamet. I love Shamet. I wanted the Knicks to take on Shamet. He was my favorite of all the three guys that they had between Brogdon, Shamet, and Garrison Matthews. I am a huge Landry Shamet fan. I was advocating for him to play in the playoffs last year. I was advocating for him to be in the rotation all basically season long once he got back last year. I do love Landry Shamet. I'm just also saying there's a very real situation where Landry Shamet did dislocate that shoulder, and if he did dislocate the shoulder and he needs surgery, that would put him out for the season, and it would mean the Knicks would waive him because his contract is not guaranteed until January. I'm not saying I want them to do that. I'm saying in the worst case scenario where Shamet is actually out for the season, well then the Knicks will waive him so they have money to sign somebody else. Would that be a point guard? Would that be a wing? That's a big question to answer. If it's a wing, we look at Malik Beasley, Alec Burks, something like that. If it's a guard, we look at like a Markelle Fultz. It depends if it's a big. We can look around a few different options there as well. So Moses Brown comes to mind because he's been within the Knicks organization a couple times now. So basically, long story short, the Knicks do have a few different areas to go with this situation. Now, they could target a few different names here, and when we look at the bad teams in the NBA right now, we see who's going to be making moves and who's going to not. First of all, I don't know how the Lakers are so good. They're not. That roster's not good. It's just Luke is amazing, and also LeBron's still very great. So Austin Reeves is great, but still, no, not the point. The point is, when we look at the conference standings right now, we see the Eastern Conference. That bottom part of it is just destitute. I mean, the Bucks don't have any guards. The Hornets are terrible, and there's really no one to really trade for because no one fits the financial situation. And also, again, there's not that much to really like there anyway. The Nets are atrocious. The Pacers have one guard who fits perfectly with the Knicks in this situation, and that's TJ McConnell. But he makes too much money where the Knicks would likely end up having to trade. They'd have to trade Mitchell Robinson or Josh Hart for him, which they're not doing, and they should not do. And then there's the Wizards, who really don't have anyone. I mean, if you wanted to nab CJ McCollum or something like that, you'd have to wait till he gets bought out, if he gets bought out. Then you look at the bottom of the Western Conference, and you do see teams that actually do fit the bill there. The Mavericks, they have a few guys who would fit the bill. The Sacramento Kings have someone specifically who would, the guy who, Mike Brown played, who we're about to talk about. The Clippers, most of their guys are veterans, and the Knicks aren't trading for Chris Paul. They're going to let Paul finish out his season on a retirement tour with the Clippers, where people most remember him from, even though he did have more years on the Hornets, but not the point. And then also the New Orleans Pelicans, who do have Jose Alvarado, who I have talked about before, so I'm not going to stick around on Alvarado for too long, but Alvarado does come to mind very briefly because you look at him, he's in 21 minutes per game this season. He's putting up 9 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and shooting 35% from 3 while shooting 41% from the field. He's a very good defender and does fit the bill if the Knicks do want to add a guy who, frankly, can fit on this team quite nicely. It does make some sense for the Knicks to go out there and look at Alvarado as a real option. But also, with the way Tyler Kolek is playing, do you really need Jose Alvarado, or then do you have an overabundance of depth at that point guard position to where you made a trade that was a wrong move because you can't play all those guards at the same time? Well, Keon Ellis solves that problem because Ellis is on a terrible team right now, and he has found himself in trade rumors. The Kings are going to fully blow this thing up, and they're also trying to trade for John Morant at the same time for some reason. The Kings are weird. And he's putting up 5.7 points per game and 1.4 rebounds. The man is a phenomenal defender, putting up 1.2 steals per game, and also shoots 41% from 3 and 45% on the corner 3. This is who the Knicks should target. Mike Brown knows him, and when Keon was on a two-way contract, Mike Brown was not afraid to play Ellis at all. He put Ellis into the starting lineup. He gave Ellis some reps as a starting point guard for the Kings as well. We saw him play the point guard position. So not only can he do it as a combo guard, but he's also an elite defender who adds more depth to this Knicks team and also is affordable. Ellis makes virtually no money at all. So when we look just at these teams right here, we do see that everything does sort of work where we look at Ellis, who makes around $2 million per year. That means if the Knicks so chose, they could move Pacome Dadie's $2.8 million for Ellis's $2.2 million. The Knicks save a little bit of money, actually have some more cap space that gets freed up, so they have a bit more flexibility to have some more fun later on in the season, while also giving Pacome Dadie probably that protected Wizards first round pick that's going to convert to a couple seconds later on. And by later on, I mean after the Kings evidently do fall into the top 8 of the draft and the Knicks don't land their pick. So because of that, the Knicks would be giving them around 2 second-round picks there, and then likely a protected second-round pick that they have from Boston, or they have that it was initially owned by Boston, which is protected 31 to 45, and then probably another second-round pick on top of that as well with a little bit less of a protection, just because Ellis is an expensive player, and the Knicks would be giving a good amount of seconds for him, but at the same time, it's a move worth it, because as much as I love Pacome Dadie, Ellis helps now, and the Knicks are trying to win right now. The Knicks aren't trying to win in 2029, 2030. They're trying to win the NBA Finals in 2026. Ellis gives them more depth, more defense, more shooting, more playmaking. He gives them exactly what you want, and also is just the perfect fit for this team. But guys, what do you think? Do you like this idea? Do you not like this idea? Do you hate me? Let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to get back to you. If you are subscribed, and show that or mention to me that you are subscribed, I will prioritize responding to your comments first. I do usually get enough comments to where I can't respond to all of them, but I will do my best, especially if you're subscribed. I will get back to you. I guarantee that. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day. Go Knicks.